To the London hospital, quick! My colleague agreed to meet me here in one of the London hospital rooms reserved for students.
Ah, John, you're there already. Punctual as always. Tell me, you don't seem to be in good shape. Is it possible that your recent marriage is making you this morose?
Ah, you know me well, Andrew. No, it's a strange and terrible affair that concerns me. Have you read my note?
Yes, I admit that I was surprised. It just so happens that I, too, was asking questions about our morgue.
What do you think? Have you heard of any organ trafficking within?
No, John. No doubt there exists some exchange between colleagues. Not quite legal, of course, but nothing that can qualify as trafficking. Since the Anatomy Act of 1832, which permitted the use of unclaimed corpses for science, the black market trade was definitely halted. There are sufficient subjects available for all practitioners and students. Of this I can confirm.
Well, organ trafficking as a lucrative trade is out of the question. Then what is troubling you with the morgue?
You are talking about trafficking organs, but I suspect there is trade in whole bodies.
What do you mean to say? Whole bodies are disappearing?
Well, it's confidential, but I know of your discretion and your friendship with the famous Sherlock Holmes. I can tell you that a few corpses have recently disappeared from the hospital morgue. Cadavers that were intended for dissection. That is to say, not claimed. Poor, unknown people. If a single corpse had disappeared, it might have been a bad joke. There are many students who pass through here. It's even a meeting spot. For the majority, they are here to work. A few come here in secret to practice. It also happens that instruments or organs go missing. Nothing alarming, but so many corpses. It's very troubling.
But the hospital doctors aren't doing anything?
No. That is to say, they would prefer not to call the police at this point. An investigation would no doubt result in the suspension of authorizations for the use of unclaimed corpses. Do you think that you could intercede on our behalf with Sherlock Holmes to clear up this situation?
Which corpses are missing?
I don't know exactly, but I can make an exact list if you would like to wait here for a few minutes. Feel free to look around the room while you wait. It'll bring back memories.
Thank you, Andrew. It's here that students come to carry out their experiments. This surgical instrument resembles a screwdriver. How amusing. It might come in handy. I will return it later. It's here that students come to carry out their experiments. This rag is full of grease. It certainly wasn't used for a dissection. Was someone doing some mechanical work here? These wheeled trolleys are very handy for laying out surgical instruments. The last lesson must have been about the human heart. And for a class of beginners, I expect, as this diagram is rather rudimentary. There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long, and it looks like the drawing on the board. There is a heart in this jar. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks. This wheel won't roll despite all of the added grease. Curious, as Holmes would say. An encyclopedia of anatomy. A page on the human heart is dog-eared. Let's see. It's here that students come to carry out their experiments. I have no reason to go here. There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long, and it looks like the drawing on the board. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks. This wheel won't roll despite all of the added grease. Curious, as Holmes would say. A message. I'll be... Why the devil was it hidden here? An old prescription. Poor child, so young yet terminally ill. Strange, someone scrawled something. Part of it is in Latin. These are instructions, it would seem. The last lesson must have been about the human heart. And for a class of beginners, I expect, as this diagram is rather rudimentary. There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long, and it looks like the drawing on the board. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks. There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long, and it looks like the drawing on the board. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks. Look, there was a bit of paper stuck between the 2 lids. Incredible! Someone has hidden a magnet in this heart. But to what end? It's here that students come to carry out their experiments. Incredible! There is a magnet with a hook behind this pane of glass. I am in need of something. Incredible! There is a magnet with a hook behind this pane of glass. I am in need of something. There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself. A hole! I can make out something inside, but how to get it out? I will need a hook. I found it! A coded message. I do believe I will need Holmes.
Here is the list, John. The missing corpses are those of a woman, 40 years old, beginning of August, another, 55 years old, 2 weeks ago, and recently, a young woman. These corpses had nothing in common except that they didn't have any apparent lesions.
All of this is very troubling. Well, I think that I have all of the information possible, and I promise that I will do what I can to clear up this business. I must leave you, my friend, and...
In the name of our friendship...
Please, don't go so stare.
To be sure. Thanks again, Andrew.
It is I who must thank you, John. Don't forget to keep me up to date and say hello to your charming wife for me.
Count on me, Andrew.
I must go to the wasp's nest to find this rogue that Watson dubbed Bluto. He may be able to provide information on Dr. Tumblety. This lead, although tenuous, is well worth following. I must return to Whitechapel, but it would be better if I did so incognito. This should do the trick. Let's go. Let's go to the wasp's nest.
Oi, what'll it be to drink, Gav?
What'll it be?
I have nothing to ask. There's something here. There's something here. I need something. There's something here. I need something. Old Tongue. There's something here. I see a jewel. It's fallen between the floorboards. a Hebrew inscription. Going by the length of the chain, it must belong to a child. Hello there. You looking for a gas man?
You really a gasser? You sure it isn't a bobby?
Well, if you don't need me, I'll be on my way then. I've already been paid up.
Stay. Who paid you?
A doctor, Marston, I think he was. He told me you'd talk to me about a foreigner, name of Tumblety, if I did you a favour.
Right, mate. Might happen.
What is it you need me to do then?
Listen to me. At the end of Whitechapel, there's an abandoned dump of a house. Opposite Finley's boarding house. Upstairs in the mess where the gas pipes are, you'll find a sack with something heavy inside. If you look in, you'll regret it here. You find it, you bring it here, and you don't tell a soul, right?
Got it. And then you'll tell me about this Tumblety so that I can report back to the doc?
Yeah, doctors know people. And since you is here, it's because he'll move mountains for his American. Me, I don't know much. But you can tell him that he'll have to talk to Squibby. He seems to know lots about plenty. When you come back with a sack, I'll tell you what he needs to tell Squibby so that he snitches on the yank to him. Believe me, mate, it's as explosive as 10 miles worth of gas in your damn pipes.
Right then, I'm off.
Go. Give me some air.
I could arrange for the police to come down here and arrest this thug, but he seems pretty tough and would probably be a lot less cooperative than if I play along. It's best I handle this myself, including meeting the mysterious Squibby. Burner Street. Burner Street. Burner Street. On this poster is written, Club for Socialist Jews, the Cradle of Liberty. Interesting. It's the abandoned house that Bluto pointed out to me. He must have set up his hideout there. There is a strange smell coming from this old building.